What if your greatest curse was written in your blood, long before you even took your first breath? Behind the crowns, jewels, and power hid a truth so dark, it destroyed generations from the inside out. For centuries, royal families across Europe and beyond fought to keep their bloodlines pure. But purity came at a price: broken bodies, fragile minds, and children born to suffer for the sins of their ancestors. Today, we're diving deep into the tragic world of royal inbreeding, where obsession with power turned love, family, and even birth itself into a dangerous experiment. And trust me, by the time we reach number 1, you'll see just how far royalty would go to keep control. 10. Isabella II of Spain, the crown born from a curse. Born in 1830, Isabella was the child of an uncle and his niece, a bond that rewrote her body before she could speak. Her family tree? A maze where grandparents and great-grandparents shared the same names and genes. She had 11 children, yet most never made it past infancy. Even historians whisper that none of her surviving children belonged to her husband. Her throne glittered, but her legacy was a quiet scream of genetic collapse. 9. Marie-Louise of Austria, the four-grandparent queen. In a dynasty obsessed with itself, Marie-Louise's parents were double first cousins. She had only 4 unique great-grandparents, half the normal number. At 18, she was handed to Napoleon, her father's enemy, as a pawn of peace. Behind the grandeur, her body carried the weight of centuries of genetic compression, proof that even empires can rot from within. 8. Lorraine Whittaker, the modern echo. Not all inbreeding stories are ancient. Lorraine Whittaker's family, from a small American town, shows what happens when isolation becomes tradition. Generations of intermarriage led to genetic tragedy so severe, her son is believed to be one of the most affected individuals alive. This isn't a royal curse. It's proof that history still repeats itself in the forgotten corners of our world. 7. Maria of Portugal, the queen who lost her mind. Known as Maria the Pious, her rule turned to madness. Born of close bloodlines, she married her own uncle to protect the dynasty. Half her children didn't survive. As she aged, her mind fractured until she could no longer rule, a living reminder that the greatest threat to her crown wasn't rebellion. It was her own blood. 6. Marie-Louise d'Orléans, a royal life drowned in sorrow. Forced into a cousin marriage, trapped in a cycle of royal repetition, Marie-Louise lost all 3 of her children before they could grow. At just 14, she turned to alcohol, not for luxury, but to numb the endless pain of a life written by others. Her story isn't just about power, it's about the quiet suffering behind palace walls. 5. Princess Alexia of Greece, the last echo of a dying tradition. Born in 1965, Alexia represents the modern end of royal inbreeding. Her parents, both royals, were second and third cousins, tied by blood twice over. Even as the world modernized, royalty couldn't escape its past. Her family stood at the crossroads between ancient custom and modern consequence. 4. Maria Antonia of Austria, the forgotten Habsburg. Her family tree wasn't a tree, it was a loop. Her genetic code was as close as that of a child born to siblings. Yet history forgot her name. While her uncle, Charles II, is remembered as the face of royal degeneration, Maria Antonia silently carried the crown's deepest genetic scars. 3. The daughters of Tutankhamun, born to die. 2 tiny mummies, known only as 317A and 317B, lie in Cairo's museum, silent witnesses to a dynasty's decay. They were the daughters of Tutankhamun and his half-sister wife. They never lived long enough to cry. Their twisted bones tell a story that gold tombs could never hide, that even gods could not cheat nature. 2. Kimberley cult, the 21st century nightmare. In rural Australia, a family closed itself off from the world, generation after generation. What began as secrecy turned into a genetic collapse so severe, children were born with deformities unseen in modern times. Kimberly's story isn't about royalty, but about what happens when isolation replaces love, and silence becomes survival. 1. Cleopatra II, the bloodline that devoured itself. Forget the seductive legend. This Cleopatra ruled an empire built on incest. Her parents were siblings, her grandparents were siblings, and her siblings married each other. Her dynasty wasn't royal, it was biological warfare. Every generation traded health for power until even their gods must have turned away. Cleopatra II stood at the peak of human ambition and the edge of human destruction. Across centuries and continents, one truth remains. When power becomes more important than people, blood itself turns against its makers. These women weren't just rulers, they were daughters, mothers, victims of a system that treated love as strategy and life as legacy. Their tragedy reminds us, no empire is strong enough to survive the cruelty of its own design. History isn't just about kings and empires, it's about the hidden pain behind the crowns. If this story made you see the past in a new light, imagine how many more untold truths are waiting to be uncovered. Every legend hides a lesson, every dynasty a secret. And here on Historian Vibe, we bring those forgotten voices back to life. So if you love exploring the darker, deeper side of history, hit that subscribe button, join our journey, and keep the echoes of the past alive. Because history never dies, it only whispers.